Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you again for watching another one of my videos. I do truly appreciate it. I hope you had a very blessed weekend. Today is Monday, February the 16th. Today is the day after what I consider being the change from when I'm going to start getting away from my wintertime patterns and start moving into my pre-spawn patterns. The temperatures are starting to get warmer and will continue to get warmer, but I'm sure we'll have some more cold. We usually have more cold in March, but for the most part, the temperatures are going to be getting warmer. The cold fronts that do come through is not going to last near as long before the temperatures are going to start coming back up and being warmer. We're going to have more daylight, more sunlight during the day, which is going to help the temperatures and also help warm the water up. So this time of year is when I'm going to start moving from those bluffs. I'm going to still work the bluff ends, transition points at bluff ends, transition points at like ledges and where more vertical structure was. It's been cold. It finally got cold enough to get the water temperatures into the 30s. We had some ice on the water, so that definitely took us into wintertime fishing. Up into December, we were still throwing crankbaits and spinnerbaits until that really cold snap in January. And that's when the temperatures plummeted and the water temperatures plummeted. But now they are going to start coming back up. I'm going to start moving more toward main lake points that still has deep water close by. You still want to have deep water close by so they can get back out into the deep water. One of the best places is if you have a bluff, then you kind of come into the bluff end where the transition area is, and then you go into a point that still has some deep water close. It may be close to the channel swing, or it may just be have a ledge that just drops off 10, 15, 20 feet. Just something with some deeper water so they can go down in the water column when we have a cold front or high pressure. But I'm going to be targeting those main lake points, those bluff ends that goes into flatter areas, kind of 45-degree angle banks, or less than 45-degree angle banks that goes out into a point, or a good staging area is what I kind of call them. It's a place where the fish stage between the winter hunt and the pre-spawn, where they're going to be going into the spawning flats. I'm going to look for spawning pockets, or the spawning areas in the backs of coves, in the backs of creek channels, in the backs of cuts, anywhere where the bass is going to spawn. I'm going to start moving toward that area, but I'm not going to go to where they spawn, because they're not going to be there yet. They're going to be in that staging area where there's still deep water close by, and it's going to be, this time of year, I have better luck right around the main lake area instead of the secondary points. I'm going to stick pretty close to those main lake points, and especially the deeper ones that has deep water right there with them. They can be flatter banks, flatter points, but they've got, like I said, they got to have that deep water. But I'm going to be fishing those points and those flats at the end of bluffs, those flatter areas at the end of bluffs. I'll be throwing a crankbait, I'll be throwing a jig, I'll be throwing, like I said, crankbait, rock crawler, Shad Rap, DT8, DT6s, Wigglewort. You know, those are going to be my go-to crankbaits this time of year. I'm not going to be fishing jerk baits. I'm going to put them away just as quick as possible. I hate fishing jerk baits. Boy, I hate fishing jerk baits. So the crankbait and the jig is going to definitely be out. A spinnerbait is going to be out. A big, like a 3/4 ounce spinnerbait with a big number 5, 6, 7 Colorado blade for the real dingy water. For the water it's not so dingy, I'll go ahead and I'll be with a 5, 6, 7, 8 willow leaf, so I can throw it out there. And I'm going to use that 3/4 ounce so I can get it out there, let it go to the bottom, and then I'm going to pump it up off the bottom to get that blade to turn, and then I'm going to slow roll it and let it go back down and bounce the bottom, and just enough to kind of make that blade turn some. You just want that blade turning. This time of year, you want to have a really, really good ball bearing on your blades, so it's easier for that blade to turn with a really good quality ball bearing swivel on there for your blade to turn. So crankbait, jig, spinnerbait, lipless crankbait is another really, really good one this time of year. You can yo-yo it, you can throw it out and reel it, pause it, and let it go back down to bottom. Reel it, pause it, let it go back down to bottom. Yo-yo, rip it up, let it go to the bottom. Rip it up, let it go to the bottom. Sorry, I'm having to drive here a minute. Those 4 baits are going to be my main baits that I'm going to be throwing this time of year to catch those bass that's on the move. Pineapple willies. Anybody that's been to Florida on vacation knows pineapple willies. Anyway, those will be my key baits that I will be throwing. I may have some other ones put in there here and there. I may have to throw a drop shot, tube, and a Ned rig, anything for finesse. If you have a high pressure day right after a cold front, you know, if a cold front goes through and we got high pressure and you're having to use you're having to go to one of your finesse baits, the Ned rig, drop shot, and tube. I especially like the little, like 2 3/4 inch tubes. I especially like those for a finesse tube and for a finesse bait this time of year. You can catch a lot of bass on those. But that's going to be it for today. Just remember, it's time to start moving to those staging areas between the winter hunts and the pre-spawn. So just find those staging areas, at those bluff ends with the transitions into flats, those points. If there's a point near a bluff end that has a flat point on it, any bank that's 45 degrees and less, if you can find good rock piles, brush piles, boat docks, if there's a bridge there, a bridge pilings can be awesome this time of year. And the riprap, you got riprap. The riprap will be great because that stuff will hold the heat. So any of that kind of thing, you know, especially if you have those floating docks that has the black floats, that black is going to soak up the sunlight and the heat, and it's going to help warm up the water right there around that dock. So anyway, I'm going to get off here, guys. I hope you have a blessed week. If you have any questions, please leave them below, and I will see you guys out on the water.